Whoops, I'm not sure what happened with that. Sorry, I think my phone just completely shut off or lost our connection. It happens. Somehow these Instagram lives work better when you turn off your Wi-Fi. Otherwise, it's super choppy. But in turning off my Wi-Fi, I think my phone gets very confused as to whether it's connected or not. So it's just one of those things. So I will just reintroduce myself, and as soon as Reggie gets back into the room, we will have our interview. So I am Liz Smith, and I am the president of the St. John's Boosters Business Association. We are here on Instagram Live, a series where we interview our small business owners or employees or nonprofits, and we get a chance to sit together and have a chat while we are together in my living room and wherever they are. So it's really fun. I'm just going to text Reggie real quick and let him know that he can sign back on. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Hang on one second as we hang out here live. Feel free to say hi in the comments if you're here. That way I know that I'm talking to somebody. That would be good. And I will meanwhile text Reggie back. All right, back on now. I don't know if you guys do this. I'm a total talk texter, which is why my text always, hi, Jenny Joe, I see you there. Thank you for saying hello to me. And I see someone else saying hi with very long handle that I can't see. And I see Reggie back on. So good. We're good. We're going to try this again. Welcome to Instagram Live, people. Yes. Anyway, and I hope you're having a good day and having some good lunch and whatever you're doing. I hope it's a positive experience. And here's Reggie joining again. Healing, as they say. Right? And here we go. Okay,
There
once
we go.
more.
Wow.
Sorry, my phone just completely died. So anyway, well, that's how it goes live. It's just like real life. And I think if the pandemic has taught us one thing, we we roll with it. So you're frozen again. I don't know why. That's so weird.
Let's see.
There you are.
Okay. I'm off
We're
the
good. All right,
Wi-Fi,
Reggie,
so I should be good.
hi.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get started in case we get cut off again.
I like it.
So you just know if we get cut off, we just sign right back on. So,
I like it.
you know who I am. I'm Liz. We've never actually met in person, so I'm very
Yeah.
pleased to be able to meet you over technology.
Yes.
And I am so curious about your business. If you can tell the name of your business and then like how long you've been in business, what made you get started, why St. John's, that would be great.
Good questions. So my name is Reggie Guyton. I'm a State Farm insurance agent, and I've been affiliated with State Farm since 1989. I started out in the accounting department, and I actually started my agency in 1993. I was actually located on Lombard, but a little further down. I was in 2700 block on North Lombard Street, and zip code 97217.
Okay.
I I took over for a State Farm agent who went into management, but that agent had actually taken over for another agent that had started his agency in St. John's in the late 60s, early 70s.
Wow.
And right, so the majority of the clients that were in my book of business were actually located in 97203. And so when I sold the building that I was located in, I wanted to relocate, and I couldn't think of a better place than St. John's.
I love that. That is such a long time. I mean, I was trying to think like related to my own lifetime. I was born in the 60s. So that business started when I was born. In 1993 is when I got married. And I've been
Right.
married a long, long time. So you've been in business doing this particular business for a very long time. My goodness.
That explains the gray.
Me too, but I covered it up. So how long, so I know that your location is right next to, I just consider it sort of next to St. John's storage unit. Like that's a good like marker that everybody knows.
Right.
How long have you been in that location?
Good question. I've been there since 2012.
Okay.
Prior to that, I was down a little bit further in the 8900 block in 2006. So I've physically been in St. John since 2006. And as you and I know, a lot has changed since 2006.
You have seen things change
Yeah, yeah.
and
But
still
but
changing.
but at the same time, just the folks that know anything about St. John's, they've been here a long time. They know that where I'm located now, where St. John's Storage is located, it used to be a car dealership. I believe it was Sid Dorn Chevrolet,
Oh
where you can get a
my
Dorn
God.
good deal. Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
love that. I've seen pictures. I've only been here since 2015, so I don't know the history, but I've studied a lot of the history. And
Right,
I think
right.
we have such a unique business district that people remember fondly these businesses that were there before, and almost their
Sure,
spirit still exists in those
sure.
places.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So when I call your business or visit your business, I feel like I'd meet a different family member of yours every single time.
Yeah,
Would you
yeah.
say
Well,
you're a family business?
you know what? It's turned out to be that way. My wife and I joined State Farm in 1989. And when I started my agency in 89, we were down in Salem, which is where our regional office was. When I started my agency up here in 93, my wife moved up and became a State Farm claim rep during that time. So we relocated up here, and she has been in and out of my agency since 1993. What's made it a family business is that my son, who's been in the insurance industry for the last 4 years, started working in my agency during COVID. So he lost his job in June or July, and he's been working in my office ever since. So that's what makes it feel like a family owned business at this particular time.
Well, I was initially confused because when we were doing the pumpkin giveaway, I met your son, whose name also happens to be Reggie.
Right.
And he made sure to say Junior, so that I
Yeah.
would get the difference.
Yeah.
But I thought that was so cool that, there's your son right there. I didn't realize it had been pandemic driven or so recent.
Yeah.
So he's still learning the ropes and, obviously has a great teacher.
Yeah.
But what a surprise for you if you didn't think that it was going to go that way, to have him, be in the business, and suddenly it is.
Yes, it's been remarkable. I mean, he has industry knowledge and some product knowledge, but he just needed to learn the State Farm products, and he's doing better. I mean, he's doing a lot better. But what's really pleasing about having him and the other team members in our office is the policyholders enjoy working with him as well as everybody else. So that's been very pleasing and rewarding.
I bet that feels good. Well,
Yeah.
and as a difference with a family member versus just an employee, you know where he lives. If you
Yeah.
don't show up for work, I know exactly where you live. And I think it's
Absolutely.
probably helpful in the pandemic too. All the social distancing things have been so challenging to navigate. At least I know not all of your employees are family members, but at least having some, what their outside of work practices are, so you can feel comfortable
Yeah.
with that, or feel free being in that a pod with both your core workers and your family. How has that been for you with with your business during the
You know
pandemic?
what? You know what? Good question. I think when it happened in March, I mean, like many American Americans as well as business owners, I mean, it was a shock. I mean, literally, things just came to a halt,
Right,
and I, like everybody else, had to try to figure out how can we best serve our customers. It wasn't really about how can we continue to do business and all those other things. I never thought about laying off any of my employees or anything like that. It was really about how can we service the clients.
right.
And given that situation, it was really about focusing on the you use a good word when you said navigating around these experiences. So we had to play with the idea. Immediately, we started to work from home. That became a technology issue. And then
Ah,
when we came back into the office, we kept the doors locked for a little while, and but we still transacted business. But at the same time, Oregonians were responding to the mandates to really stay at home. And so
right.
we really didn't have a ton of activity of folks coming into the office. But when they did, you know, all the employees, we wore masks, and we asked that our customers wear masks too. And so far, everyone's been accommodating. And so
Great.
it's been interesting. It's been interesting.
Oh my goodness, very interesting and good. And it's also so good to hear that people have been accommodating and appreciating what you're going through as a business, and that you're still able to ramp up your technology skills really quickly in order to still service your clients, because you are a service industry. And those
Hmm.
relationships, I imagine, are very important, especially in the field that you're in right now, as people are going through such life changes that they were not expecting to go through.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not, you know, honestly, I do social media for work, but I wouldn't say I'm the most technically savvy person. And we can't survive without it. You don't have a
Right.
choice. You know,
Right.
you can't do
Right.
your business without it. So
Right.
we had to suddenly all learn Zoom and learn like this technology and Instagram and you know, as we see today, sometimes it fails or it doesn't work, but you have to just keep trying and
Yeah.
hope that it will, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Every
it
every,
just it,
every
it
day is a
changes
new
the
day.
nature though. I mean, it's different to be if you and I were sitting in person, but this is good, but sitting in person is so different and better. So hopefully we'll be able to have this kind of a conversation when we're through the pandemic, because obviously that's preferred, but thank goodness for this, right?
Well, particularly with what we do was really challenging because really State Farm, since its inception, has been based off of relationships, and the majority of those relationships are face to face or over the phone.
Right.
But again, most of the relationships are face to face. I mean, the advertising back in the day was like a good neighbor. State Farm is there.
Yes.
So when the pandemic hit, it really challenged us as a company to say, okay, how are we going to continue to do business? And we just couldn't embrace Zoom immediately because of infrastructure issues and
Sure.
security issues. And so that became a
Oh,
challenge. So that kind of put us, you know, okay, so how can we conduct a review with our policyholders to make sure they're properly insured if we're not going to be able to use Zoom? So eventually they figured it out, and there's a way that we can do video conferencing now. But it presented a challenge for us early on, no doubt.
I have a relative who is in the healthcare health support thing, and
Mhm.
her business was always in person, and it's very private stuff that not even somebody in your household can hear you have the conversation. I mean, there are laws about it, and so it
Mhm.
is quite complicated. But you know, you don't want to have a huge lag time in between when you figure it out or technology figures it out and what they need. You know,
Yes.
so that's I'm sure that was very stressful. And hopefully now you're in a place where you're like, okay, we've got these things in place, we can, you know, smoothly do business with our clients. But I didn't think about that issue for the insurance part of it, and that absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, and it's for the same reasons, whether or not, you know, with HIPAA laws, et cetera,
That's
there's
it.
certain medical questions you can ask and in
Right.
the presence of others. So yeah, it presents some challenges.
It's it and on the other end for your clients, they probably don't realize all the different new hoops you have to jump through just to have a basic conversation.
Yeah, that's exactly right there. Yeah, yeah. But
Have
for the
you
most
heard?
part,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, no, no,
I was
you
gonna
go.
say for the most part, I mean, like I said, we've been able to serve, and that's really been our only focus. Some of the marketing things that we've been doing, we just put those things on halt for maybe about literally 60 to 90 days, and really just focused on servicing.
Yep.
And I think we got that right. And
Yeah.
in fact, I'm pretty sure we got that right. And you know, it's just a new day. I mean, quite frankly, we don't know what tomorrow's going to look like, and with respect to the pandemic and how we do business in it.
We just do our best, and now at least we know we have these tools, is what I kind of go back to. At least we know we have something, and pretty much everyone knows how to use them now. But you know, when we were first in the pandemic, and I remembered the State Farm, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. I kind of made up a new slogan in my head, which is like a good neighbor, State Farm is 6 feet away.
There you go. You know what? We might need to
You
market.
can use that.
Make sure you patent that.
I know. Because it's like we have to be good business people, but first we have to be good neighbors to each other and care
Absolutely.
about each other, right?
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's complicated, but here you are, and I was so thrilled to work with you guys on the pumpkin giveaway, because if people in the audience didn't visit and see their office during the pumpkin giveaway, you guys went all out.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
were like into it. The office looked so festive. You had like candy bags to give away.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it was so fun. Did you get good response to that?
We did get good response. We didn't get quite the response that we wanted to. I mean, we ended up giving them away and being
Yeah.
more taking the initiative to distribute the pumpkins. We didn't get the folks coming in, but again, I think because of COVID and people staying at home and the mandates and all that, where people really just weren't leaving. And so even though we
Right.
had them available, a good number of people took advantage of it, but not as many as we wanted. But yeah, that was fun. I mean, my team
Good.
enjoys doing things like that. I mean, we've gotten involved with the KGW toy drive in the past, and they
Oh,
enjoy that.
nice. Nice, nice, nice.
We've obviously done the St. John's Parade. You know, we give away free hot dogs and water
Oh,
bottles during those events. So yeah, we really kind of get behind those things. It's always
nice.
fun to do it.
I love that you guys are so involved in the community, and I love that we had a way to connect and involve our two organizations together. What I've noticed in the district is that people are walking, but not quite as much. They're not hanging out as much as they did. They have something specific to do. They go do the thing. They go home instead of like, let's hang out, let's walk around. And so the walk by traffic has been a little bit different for people.
Yeah,
So I was hoping with the pumpkin giveaway, if people hadn't walked by there or didn't even know you were there, hadn't walked that area, there would at least be some new people who now
yeah,
know that you're there. And that
yeah,
would be
yeah.
good. Yeah, that's
Well, we
great.
set the template for next year, right?
Yes, exactly. I love yeah. So the idea that you guys talked about was doing a table outside so that people could actually carve or decorate their pumpkins right there. That makes
Yeah,
total sense.
yeah,
And it goes with what we've learned about like safe outdoor activities, doing things, some of the things we used to do, but in a different way, but you can still do them. I
yeah,
love that idea, and it keeps people there. And then it gives that visual as people are driving by, or what are those guys doing? That looks fun, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a busy intersection, and so a lot of folks would see that and want to stop. So yeah, no, they like I said. I mean, we have a really good team. We have an experienced team, and they really do enjoy the community. And one of our employees lives right here. I mean, you know, we don't live far. I mean, we're probably 2 miles away. We're just on the other side of North Portland off of MLK. But yeah,
Nice.
we enjoy getting engaged as much as we can. So
Well, that's great. And I think some of our audience people, either they know you or they're just learning to know you here. What would you want to communicate to like an audience of people? Like, how can they support you? What would you like to say to them if you were in conversation with all of us?
to be honest, I think that everyone has pretty much embraced us. We're kind of quiet. I'm a quiet person by nature.
Really?
I am. I really am. My wife is more outgoing than I am, and so that's probably the reason why they know her. But at the same time, that I am active, and we do things within the community, so people are aware of us and our brand. But the one
Yeah.
thing that I would probably say is that just know that we do business insurance. I mean, a lot of people think it's State Farm, and they
Ah,
don't realize that we provide business insurance, and it is designed for the small business owner.
wow.
The mom and pop grocery stores, the barber shops, the barbers that need their own liability policies. I mean, a lot of those things, services we can provide. So, and it's fairly inexpensive, to be quite honest. So just know that we provide business insurance, and we can help you out. We also, obviously, folks know that workers' comp insurance ultimately is written through the state, but we can actually provide workers' comp insurance for you as well. So just come by and stop by and see us.
This is really great information that I wouldn't have known. So now that you told me and our audience, they can also communicate this to other people. And that's
Sure.
great for already existing businesses. And also, I've heard about people wanting to start new businesses after the
Hmm.
pandemic. Maybe they've gone away from their old job, or maybe they're like, if not now, when am I going to start a new business? So
Right.
so great to know you can just go right in the neighborhood to get your business insurance, and that it's not expensive.
And to be honest, that you bring up a very good point, because a lot of folks are starting their own businesses, and a lot of those businesses are home-based businesses. and
Yep.
that they still need to have insurance because under their homeowners or renters policy, their laptops or their computers or any other equipment would not be covered under their homeowners policy. So yeah, they can get a business policy.
This is good to know for me. So I am a business that used to have an office space, but for various reasons, like it didn't make sense for me to be paying rent while we're in a pandemic and I'm not going to the office anyway. But now I'm working 100% from home and I have no business insurance. So that's really good to know. And it's actually something that I wasn't even thinking about.
Right.
So hopefully that helps somebody in our audience as well. Well, how about, since you guys are so close and I know you spend a lot of time in St. John's, I always like to give people an opportunity to talk about other businesses in St. John's that they like to support. So do you have any favorites?
You know what? Yes.
You ever leave the office?
You know, yes, I leave the office, and typically, to be honest, it's for breakfast. It's for breakfast or lunch, right? I'm the early person. I tend to get to work about 7 or 8, and so sometimes I'll go in and eat breakfast. You know, I really miss Patty's. I used to go into Patty's for breakfast, but you know, at the same time, Chop has a good breakfast sandwich that I'll go to. Sparrow has a really good breakfast croissant that I'll grab across the street. Let me see what else we got. We got Bond Me Up. I go there for lunch. You know, we obviously do the food carts down the street. So yeah, most of the folks, you know, are food related. However, I can say that I recently transferred my bank account to U.S. Bank. I was with, I'll just say I was with another bank that I'm sure a lot of people were with as well, and they left this area, and then they left their other area in Lombard, so it made it really challenging for us to make our daily deposits, and so we opened up account at U.S. Bank, and we've been very pleased with it.
Oh, that's great to hear.
And then I also bank with IQ Credit Union, which is directly across the street from me as well.
Right. Very, very, very easy to get to. Right. That's great. So you do business, your own business in St. John's, as well as have a business in St. John's. And I love all those breakfast options. And they're all pretty close to you. Like you can just pop over and grab it. And you know, breakfast is that meal that I think when people talk about the meals they enjoy in St. John's, they're normally talking about lunch and dinner, but we have so many good breakfast options now. And that's my favorite meal if I get up, you know, and out on time to get it. I love that. That's excellent. And now I'm super hungry. It's lunchtime.
Sorry about that. I apologize.
No, it's a good thing. I should be hungry. I'm like, oh, now I have to make choices. Which one do I want to go to?
Well, I did eat Big Kahuna before I logged on here. So.
So good. I love it. It's a little further down the way, but they do such great stuff, and they're awesome caterers also. I've been to events where they've catered and everybody has just been raving about it.
Yeah.
I love having barbecue in the winter too. It reminds me of summer.
There you go.
So if you could, Reggie, could you just give your contact information for people so that if somebody is on this live and they were like, oh my gosh, I got to get my business insurance going, how would they get in touch with you?
Sure. Well, first and foremost, our phone number has been the same since 1993. It's 503-289-3601, 503-289-3601. And then my email address is Reggie, which is REGGIE, at Reggie Guyton, which is spelled GUY, T as in Tom, O, N as in Nancy, insurance.com. So that's Reggie at ReggieGuytonInsurance.com.
Awesome.
And our address right here in St. John's is 8180 North Lombard.
8180 North Lombard. Right. Got it. North Lombard. Excellent. Well, hopefully everybody got that. And I had said when we had gone live initially first, I had told people that, so I do work through St. John Center of Our Opportunity giving free social media coaching. So I'm doing a free social media webinar next Thursday at 9 a.m. You guys if you'd like some social media tips, you're welcome to join. Or if you're a small business in St. John's, I also do free 1-hour coaching sessions.
Okay.
So it's kind
Okay.
of a nice thing, even if you're already really good at your social media. I can give you some outside tips and trends on how to do it more effectively and efficiently, because
Okay.
it's been overwhelming for people to be like, oh my gosh, I have this whole marketing thing to keep up with. I don't even know how to get on Instagram or whatever. You guys
Yeah.
are obviously on Instagram already, but I'm happy to work with you in that capacity too, or anybody who's on the call. Just like send me a message or email me or whatever. It would be fun.
Yeah, yeah, we are on Instagram, but I'm telling you this. I've been an agent a long time, and the industry's changed a lot. Just how you market and how
Yeah.
you brand. I mean, I remember when I first became an agent, it was important to be a part of Welcome Wagon that was distributed to all the folks that moved into the area. You know, all the print
Right.
advertising and the billboard advertising is just a totally different deal now.
It's
So,
a totally different deal. And we're even in the boosters, we are like, okay, so we're getting ready to do a membership drive, which we do every year, but we're not walking around and like going to people's businesses. Are people even seeing the social posts? Because there's so many out there right now. Do we do mailers? Like, are we going back to old style, or how can we effectively do it that resonates as authentic, but at the same time gets people to maybe take an action, like sign up or whatever? Because a
yeah,
lot of times people are just, there's so much noise in the world, they're just missing it. They're like,
right,
oh my God, I
right,
didn't see your 7 emails that you sent because I have 7,000 in my inbox I haven't answered yet, or it's going to my spam or whatever it is. It's like, oh my God.
right.
So yeah, yeah. So we will, yeah, we'll chat. And I would love to have a meeting with you guys. I think that would be really great. And I have so enjoyed our talk today and getting to know you a little bit. And bravo for being able to get on Instagram Live. I didn't think I could do it either. So
Well,
I was
thank
like,
you.
that was really fun. Say hello to everybody in the office for
I
me,
will.
and we will chat soon.
Great. Have a good year.
Thank you. You too.
Bye bye.
Bye.